All right, welcome to the Radical Recap vlog, and today I am doing frost seeding, finally. Here in Illinois, the ground is frozen. We have some snow on the ground. This is, in my opinion, one of, if not the best time to do a frost seeding, and it's honestly my favorite seeding to do for clover, period. It seems to be the most effective, it's the easiest, and you know, basically whenever those weeds start coming up, when the ground temperature starts rising, that clover is usually the first thing to germinate. The clover and chicory, and it gives it enough time to hopefully choke out the weeds, and we'll do some other maintenance to be able to control that, but that's one of the big reasons why I like doing the frost seeding. And real quick, I just want to show you guys my setup here, and what I'm using here is the Femco broadcaster seeder on the back of my foiler here. I've used a different seeder in the past that didn't work real well for clover, just because you couldn't get the gap closed off enough, and I used to have to use a filler such as sand or fertilizer with my clover, so that way I wasn't just wasting my clover. So with the Femco, this is my second year using it, and what I really like about it is, one, I can close the gap off small enough that I can put straight clover into the seeder, and I'll show you guys the dial setup here and how it works with the slide plate. It's a great design, it works awesome. You can also control the speed, and the speed allows you to basically make throws your seed out further. If you turn up the speed, you can turn it down to where it's barely even, you know, throwing that seed at all. So if you got a real wide stretch, you can really crank it up. If you got a real narrow stretch, you can crank it down. So I've been really satisfied with this broadcaster, and I like putting it on my foiler just because it's a lot simpler than putting it on a side-by-side. So a little bit about the frost seeding with the clover and chicory. Now, Real World recommends 1 pound or 10 pounds to the acre of the clover and chicory will cover an acre. Now that is on a new seeding. So basically on the frost seeding, when you're broadcasting over your existing clover plots, you're really just trying to fill those void areas. So they recommend usually about half that. So that would be 5 pounds to the acre. So technically a 1 acre bag over an existing clover plot should be sufficient for basically 2 acres worth of area. So today I am doing a new seeding. I'm actually broadcasting it over my cut corn, and what I'm going to do is hopefully get this all broadcasted. Spring it'll start germinating coming up, and then I'll be able to do the rest of the maintenance between spraying and mowing, keeping it good and lush. And then what I'm going to do in the fall is I'm going to actually rip up some strips. This is about a 2.5 acre solid square area I'm doing today. I'm going to rip up some strips though, not very wide, and do some other green plots throughout. Kind of doing a test, a variety of things to see what the deer prefer. That's always been my method, is, you know, learning it firsthand, seeing what the deer like or don't like firsthand. So I'm really excited about this. I've never done a solid clover patch up there. In the past, I've always done soybeans or corn, but frankly, I'm just running out. And what I've noticed over the last few years is the deer are all over the greens for the majority of season. So I'm gonna go to more greens this year and just give it a try, see if it pays off or does not pay off. But I still have 4 or 5 acres of standing soybeans over here to the north, and they seem to last, so I will continue to do that again this year. But for this plot, we're going to do the clover and chicory, and then in the fall I'll probably come back and do some harvest salad, maybe some plot topper mixed in there, and see which one, you know, the deer are really preferring.
Hey guys, Troy Gaddis with Henderson Timber Services, Sigel, Illinois. Hey, we're out here today with Kyle Harmon of Team Radical in the woods. It's basically where he does most of his hunting. And we're taking out some of the bigger trees that's shading everything. In these big white oak and woods like this, when they shade every tree out here, nothing can grow back except these little hard maple and hickory, and they're just everywhere. On this new growth, there is no oak growing because there's too much canopy. So we're out here thinning it out a little bit, just doing a select harvest on it, taking the biggest canopy trees out of here, making it so it opens it up. There's going to be a lot of new growth, a lot of new bedding. I'm pretty sure Kyle's going to kill a big one out of here next year. We'll find out.
Today we're going to have a fun little project. Basically we've got a 120 acre farm here, primarily all cover, not enough food. Too many deer, just cannot get beans, corn, any food plots to stay established until late season. So we're going to put in a large 5 acre destination plot. We are in upland CRP trees that is not going to be re-enrolled. So there's a lot of really good oaks, a lot of really good trees in here that are worth saving. So we're going to use the tree spade and we're going to pull those trees out and build a visual barrier back here and block this food plot off from the road. All the autumn olive, all the invasives, all the invaluable trees, we're going to use the grapple and bucket, uproot everything, and just completely clear everything out. So between the two machines, it's
going to be a lot of change.
A lot of change.
Luckily there's enough white oaks and good trees out here like this that it's actually going to be really valuable to move them to the edges and that sort of thing. A good looking white oak. Move it to the edge and let it produce.
It's plenty cold, I'm getting back in the skid steer. Just finished up cleaning up the field. Just went through, bush hogged everything, picked up all the small sticks. Now all we got to wait and do is wait for it to dry up so we can get a tractor and disc in here, get the ground worked, and then a lot more fine tuning, picking up roots and all the other fine sticks. But as you can see behind me, we've got our cedar wall, cedar and oak wall, blocking everything off from the road. Steve's back there spading a couple more trees where we could see a couple cars going through. Over here is what the CRP was before we started, so you can definitely tell that there's been a major change in the last 48 hours, and it's been a great project. So behind the camera we added an alleyway here. It's 40 yards wide by 80 yards long, and that connects all the existing food plots. There's approximately 3 acres of food there to begin with, and that's what has never been enough food to withhold all the pressure. So now we've got a 5 acre field on this side, 3 acres on that side. It's basically a big H. So we're gonna get 8 acres of food in here this year, and we'll find out if that's enough or not. But been a good 2-day project. We're ready for more.
Okay, so we're out here today on the home farm. These are all box elders right through here. Acer Negundo. They're pretty low value for wildlife. I planted a bunch of shrubs through here, and we need to keep the sunlight on my shrubs I planted and kind of get rid of some low value trees. I got a walnut right here next to them. I'm just going to keep them out away from that walnut. Yeah, so we'll be treating some of these. Some of these we'll just be leaving alone. Kind of do that as we go. And this will provide a lot of sunlight. It's going to help with erosion problems along this creek because we're almost bare ground. There's some wild rye and stuff under here, but we want to see more tonnage of plants, kind of similar to what's out here along the creek to hold the banks. So what we're out here doing today. It ought to create good habitat for deer, for upland birds, for the stuff we're focused on, rabbits. That's what we're doing.
We have launched a limited release of hoodies and hats available now on our website. These pair great with camo and may help bring the luck you need. If you're looking for a new hat or hoodie and would like to support Team Radical, check out team-radical.com/shop.
Serious land managers do everything they can to grow and harvest the biggest bucks possible. Maximizing herd health is part of any good management plan. Real World's exclusive Expect Healthy Deer technology is a true game changer. Developed by professional animal nutritionists working with captive deer breeders, Expect Healthy Deer technology can help your herd by enhancing the immune system, repelling insects, improving survival from disease outbreaks. This is going to lead to increased fawn production and antler growth on your property. To learn more, you can visit realworldwildlifeproducts.com.